Do you believe that men have different experiences when they interact with each other versus women interaction with men?
In If you're speaking platonically and non-sexually, then I would say no. I do not believe that the experiences are different. However, if you are
When we're
speaking of
talking about
sexually, I
control,
believe that sexually there is a different dynamic between meaning a man and a woman sexually will have a different experience than a man and a man will platonically. However, I don't believe that a man and woman platonically are having that much of a different experience than a man and a man are having platonically.
okay,
So I
well,
think
I
the
don't know
difference
what
would be the
kind of
sexual interaction.
relationships you have with men that are the same.
Non-sexual
If they're
ones.
no,
That's
I
what I'm
said even
saying. I
if
have
they're
non-sexual ones with them. That's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
saying even if they're platonic, just men and women by nature are inherently different with something. So whether the relationship is
The differences are
platonic
usually
or
around
not,
sexuality,
the
right?
interaction between them are going to be different. But specifically, what I was referring to was that you was like, why do women try to make men seem like monsters when it comes to when they're talking about control? What Casey was saying is that in a
It-
marriage, and I can't speak for Casey, so I speak for myself, is that there are plenty of times that you're going to end up having sex when you don't necessarily feel like in the mood or you're tired or but the thing is that there are other things throughout the day that you do when you're tired, right? Like I'll say I'm tired, go to bed, and I'm scrolling, looking on IG, and I know I'm tired, but I'll stay up to do that. So in moments when there are times when my husband be like, babe, and I ain't really like, yeah, but because I know at some point there are things that he does for me that I know he doesn't necessarily want to do. So is a kind of give and take. So there's a sense of obligation in a sense that I know that he sacrifices and does things for me when he's tired. So
Now
I
let
can
me
turn the do the same. And there are times where I've asked him or tried to get up on him, and he's just like, "Babe, I had, had a rough day." And I'm just like, ugh. And he is like, "All right, I ain't gonna have to say we could do something else because I understand." So it's kind of like that give and take. It may not be exactly what I want, but he understands that there's a need in that moment and he wants to fulfill it. And so
But
because
let me give you a scenario where I override.
I do,
This is probably gonna make you well, I ain't gonna say gonna make you wet. But anyways, let me give you a scenario where I would override. Okay, let's say I say, hey, in the morning we're gonna do that thing you said you was gonna promise, boo. All right. We're gonna do that in the morning before I go to the gym. All right. Hell yeah, we gonna do that. I can't wait. I'm like, hey, look, you said we was gonna do it yesterday morning. We didn't do it yesterday morning because you was you was trying to catch up on Power Book 2 or whatever, some shit like that. And you flaked on me. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you can stay up till 3, 4 in the morning watching that shit again, don't be talking about you tired. And if we wake up and she talking about she tired, I'm like, you better bend that ass over. I'm not gonna take it, but I'm saying like you gonna have to we gonna have to get it down because I warned you.
Yes,
Man,
Daddy.
you can't be sitting here putting TV shows before us. That's a negligence on our union and what we agreed to, mutually agreed to. So in those cases, that's when I flex.
Yes, Daddy.
I don't play around. You ain't gonna sleep in my bed. Matter of fact, you ain't sleeping in the house. If you gonna tell me you ain't having sex with me, you ain't gonna sleep in this motherfucking house. We out.
Has any men
Do
ever
I make myself clear, DJ?
Crystal.
Thank you.
has any man ever denied their wife or significant other ever?
Hell no.
I'm tired, babes. Sorry.
Yeah, you did, Marcus. Oh, all right. Well,
I ain't never denied my wife. If she said, if I'm tired,
yeah, I don't see why you would.
even if I'm
Like,
tired, I'm
yeah.
be like, hey, look, you just gonna have to do the work. You're gonna have to work them legs. Get on top.
Marcus, go ahead and speak up. You quiet.
Oh, Marcus
Don't
is
make me get on the phone. Don't make me get on the phone.
No, I said yeah.
You cannot. Why?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes you be extremely tired and I can get
Nah,
drained.
No,
And then she,
I don't want to hear that.
trying to
'cause no matter
drain me.
Come on.
what?
Sometimes I need to.
I call my girl. Don't do that.
Hold on, I call that medical. I call that medically related.
Yeah,
Whenever you get drained and you just out here, nah,
Yeah.
that's medically related. I think that's doable, because I think when a woman's wall starts swelling up and it start becoming painful around the clitoris, I think that's associated with it, medical denial, medical reasons. So you kind of justify for that.
Why would that happen, Darwin?
Why would what happen?
What kind of condition is that?
I don't know, man. I've heard so many things in consultations, bro. You'd be surprised. So I don't put it past it.
Oh man.
My thought, the first thing that came to my mind is, y'all, she's dry in some situations. Like, maybe lube up sometimes. Okay. All right.
All right, it was a question that I had for Cloud. Because he was like, why do women always try to act like men are monsters or what have you? And I can't remember around which it was a specific context in which we were talking. About control. And I think the thing is that, well, can we agree that women have different experiences with men than men have with other men? And I don't mean in a sexual way, because I know, like, I guess I need to say pause. That men experience men differently than women experience men. Can we agree on that?
Say
If you're
pause every
talking,
time
if you're talking about in non-sexual ways, then I would disagree that we experience each other differently. We both experience men. We can experience violence. We can experience arguments, not feeling safe. If you're talking about non-sexual experiences,
I'm talking about relationship, friend, whether it's a men, because I know you're trying to dance around what I'm saying, and I know you are smart enough
I'm
to
answering your
understand
question.
what I'm saying. I asked you a question. Do you believe that men have different experiences when they interact with each other versus women interaction with men?
If you're speaking platonically and non-sexually, then I would say no, I do not believe that the experiences are different. However, if you are speaking of sexually, I believe that sexually there is a different dynamic between meaning a man and a woman sexually will have a different experience than a man and a man will platonically. However, I don't believe that a man and woman platonically are having that much of a different experience than a man and a man are having platonically.
Okay,
so I think the difference would be the sexual interaction.
You have with men that are the same.
Non-sexual ones.
No,
that's what I'm saying. I have non-sexual ones with them. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying even if they're platonic, just men and women by nature are inherently different with something. So whether the relationship is
differences are usually around sexuality,
the
right?
interaction between them are going to be different. But specifically, what I was referring to was that you was like, why do women try to make men seem like monsters when it comes to when they're talking about control and being
it wasn't just control
over a woman?
I wasn't just talking about control though. I'm going to give you a perfect example of what I was talking about.
Hold on.
What I was talking about.
Let me finish. You didn't let
me
finish.
Well, you're mischaracterizing my argument. So I have to correct you before you can proceed.
Okay, you can correct me after I'm finished. Let me get it out because then I'll forget. So initially what the comment that was made was, why do women always try to make it appear that men are monsters when we're talking about giving the man control?
That's not what I said. I didn't specify.
Okay, correct me when I finish. Cloud, just correct me when I finish. So what I was speaking to, from what I understood, you can correct me after I'm finished, was the reason women speak in that language when they hear things like that is because historically, not just historically, but even currently, the men's ability to control his wife has been used in a negative way. So women typically have a negative response to that, just like how DJ and even me initially at first, when even Darwin was like, oh, if I say then her ass is mine, it is an automatic, because in some relationships, and I am a witness to seeing that, so I know I'm very sensitive to that. And growing up, that when a man is given complete control, not all the time do they utilize that control in the correct way. So when you hear women respond in that way, it's because either A, they've experienced it themselves directly, or B, they've seen it.
Well,